Middle East India game, but given how close we are, might be short. I was thinking when CK2 drops, it might also be fun. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about doing a CK2 multiplayer. Much prefer to do E4. Oh, why am I losing innovativeness? I no. What? Why? No, really, why? Not that I have any to lose. Due to other countries being more technologically advanced. Damn it, England got to level 9. Alright, it's a good thing I didn't spend more military power. Because we are still a long way away from that. Alright, well, I guess things suddenly just got more dangerous again. Ligurian Gariza. Francian Cardinal dies. He's the one I only just made. And I'm definitely going to need to invest some more. Salt crisis. Rumours are sweeping the country that there's been a shortage in salt production. Although we've tried to quash the rumours, people are certain there will be a short salt crisis soon. Genoa, Liège, and some others. EU fighting Savoy, Saluzzo, Brenthium, and Liège. Liège I'll give access to. Genoa I'll give access to. I have no idea who you are, so I won't. Yeah, CK2 is far more likely to get super salty, from what I've seen in the past. I mean, the last E4 game already had serious danger of becoming far more salty than I'd prefer. I was so close to just stopping it, I'll be honest. So close. I just don't enjoy games like that. Alright, so we could build a cathedral in some places now. Roeg, seeing as that's where we just got... Actually, no, Bourbonnais would be even better because there's no estate here. Which means I get all the money. And actually, anywhere where estates are present, they should be the ones building buildings. Because estates do that. They spend their own capital on upgrading. Ecclesiastical jurisdiction. During the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church policed itself with its own independent laws and courts. Ecclesiastical courts tended to be more lenient than secular ones. Crimes that normally resulted in execution of the guilty, such as sodomy or bestiality, resulted in sentences of pilgrimages or public confession instead. Over time, anyone who claimed clerical status in any way, such as university students who are technically clergy, asked to be tried in an ecclesiastical court. While perfectly legal, it is not popular with the public if a heinous crime was punished lightly, nor with rulers if they could not execute a troublesome opponent. At times, the king would be personally involved in a case to ensure that the accused did not receive a church trial. Religious leaders protested when this happened, but were largely impotent to do anything. So, papal state improves, Languedoc gains unrest, we lose prestige, and we get anti-clericalism. Or we get religious scandal, which I'd rather not have, so I will submit to the church's authority on this instance. We have decent prestige. Hey Erebus, yes, I'm playing with MEIOU and Taxes. Might be more work, but also could do a custom nations game, have a points limit to balance the game. That's another one I'm not 100% convinced about, because that's just asking for people to min-max. And some people would be more interested in kind of just playing out a particular idea or role-playing, while others will just be like, no, I want all of the infantry combat ability in the game because it's the most powerful. That was one of the reasons that we did the Custom Nations game with Ben, Roach, myself, and Nems, because we knew that we could kind of police it internally, while with community multiplayers you just can't. Hey, god damn it, why? How's mod going? It's alright. It's a bit slow. It seems like a lot of this mod just seems to be on auto-run. I've done very little. I enjoy it. The complexity is good, but there's just very little player action. How's corruption? It's actually going down! Crikey! Probably because I stomped on my nobles. Awesome. What was the other bad thing? Oh yeah, inflation. Wonder how that's doing. No, that's still skyrocketing. Was 50-50 on whether it's more complex for its own sake or actually worth the effort. Some of the things, like the production system, I think is just more complex for the sake of complexity. Population growth and movement, yeah, that's alright. I'd like there to be more interaction. I kind of suspect that there probably will be later on when you can build more buildings and kind of control urban growth a little bit better. Estates. I absolutely adore the estates. I think the estates are absolutely brilliant. So I wouldn't change those. But yeah, otherwise I'm just kind of sitting here just clicking buttons whenever something bad happens. Is trade changed, improved? Not really. You still just place merchants and try and push trade in the right directions. There's more going on behind the scenes, like centers of trade move around depending on where trade is strong, which is good. I like that. And you also get new trade goods, like urban trade goods, as well as more valuable urban goods. Like I produce silk here because I have a lot of trade, or what's it called, production skill. That seems a little overcomplicated. But don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it. Like, the amount of work they put into this is ridiculous. I also like the way the map works. French vassals, not hugely keen on those either. But then I don't think the vassal system in EU4 in general is that great. CK2 has definitely got that one nailed. But then this is kind of supposed to be after the feudal age. Or maybe not necessarily the beginning of this. But the game as a whole is like after the feudal, so you shouldn't necessarily need a strong feudal system. Vassal system. Always wanted trade to be more dynamic in the base game. Yeah. Maybe having the ability to control, to an extent, like what trade goods you're producing, where and how. Like, for example, if you conquer an area with loads of wool, then you probably want to invest in cloth production, or same with if you get colonies in Louisiana and the Carolinas. You probably want cloth production because you control the cotton trade, like Britain did, or Flanders. Why did Flanders control the cotton trade, cloth trade? Because they were industrializing roughly the same time that Britain was. Quarantine. There's not much wool production down here, is there? In game terms, no. Unlike here, where it's basically all wool. I guess there's a fair amount along the Rhine, so they just export it into Belgium. Charles, a 330, new heir. Awesome. So that should also get rid of my legitimacy penalty. Uncertain succession is no longer uncertain. We could go up in Diplo, which I think we should. Enables the treasure junk. I believe that's probably a Chinese ship. Savoy and Genoa pieced out. So, are England ever going to come after me? Because I'm certainly in no position to go after them because of the way the alliances are working. I need Brittany and Scotland to be in a war so that they don't answer their call. Castile, Berbers resist Christian reoccupation. Mers El Kabir gain unrest, separatists. So they're taking Granada out. And in fact, Fez is currently occupied by Granada. And Tunis. We have one more game or so before we reset. Yeah, this Sunday we're here. Next Sunday, I'm away. Sunday after that, I'm apparently away. So yes, this will be the last one. And I might want to give a week or two after the DLC releases so they can fix any issues and hot fixes and that type of thing before we actually start proper multiplayer. We'll see. Yeah, I wasn't expecting Dharma to be out quite so soon. I was expecting another month or so. But I guess September is a good release time. Catches people before Christmas. And I would expect Holy Fury to be a month or so after Dharma. Thankfully they're not releasing on the same day. My gosh, that was annoying when they used to do that. I really hope they've learned their lesson. And then man the guns. Who knows? People were predicting October, even November. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. I probably would have said October. Which is why I started like this MEIOU campaign. That's why I started the Poland campaign. That's why we're doing the community game. Didn't expect it to be here already. Ah, I can finally call you. Huzzah! Do it. Actually, that was saying stuff. Spend admin, cause present administration, cause remove the overextension penalty from the province. Transitioning to civil control makes suppressing unrest more difficult. Cool. Make it happen. Not expecting man the guns for a long time. Yeah, you shouldn't. When we had the press talks at PDXCon in May, we were shown Dharma, and he was actually able to like log in, scroll around and stuff, though he couldn't show off much. Holy Fury actually looked the most well completed, but there's also the most being done on it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Holy Fury is having a long QA time. And that one they really were moving around, scrolling in, starting new games, showing us all the features and stuff. It was actually really together. And then Man the Guns has basically just had a notepad and said, yeah, this is what we're planning to do. Oh yeah, and there's going to be oil. I mean, petrol. Well, now I can die at the start of the next game instead of taking over for someone. Yeah, we'll need to work out exactly how we want to do the next one. I quite like what they're doing with the Death Clash, where everyone's playing as smaller nations. But then again, I also like playing as the big ones. It means there's more action going on, generally, in the big nations. Except we've only really had the one big war. Well, maybe that's not entirely true. Another one which I think would be highly amusing would be to have everyone in the Americas playing as tribes. See who stays and fights, see who runs away into the interior. See who tries to actually ally with the Europeans when they arrive. I think that would be fascinating. But it would be quite a lot of speed up. If I had the right idea playing as Bosnia. Not when everyone else was playing a major power, no. If everyone was playing nations as small as Bosnia, sure. But when you've got a very aggressive Papal State, Venice, Austria, and especially Ottomans next to you, no, it's a freaking terrible plan. Charles is a navigator. Awesome. Unfortunately, I just teched up into Diplo. Oh well. Am I focusing anything? No, and we've actually lost our admin. That's why I'm starting to earn more money. I've lost my advisor. Can these guys give me advisors? No. I think I'm going to tell you to do that. General of Merit would be quite nice. Rural pop growth increases will cost 5. No, 5 loyalty though. No, I think I'd rather keep their loyalty for when I'm in a war, so I can get as many troops from them as possible. Expand officer corps, tradition, kind of the same thing. Ah, inflation reduction. Except you're a +2. I don't want to I don't want to pay for a +2. I think production efficiency and tax modifier. Beatrix de Poitiers sounds good to me. I wonder if new policies become available. I would assume they do. Oh no, maybe not. Main effect will be that assimilation process will progress 10% faster with one currency. That is in fact all of them. All 3 of these anyway. Speaking of which... can I see how that's going? Right, it was clicking on you, then annex. 80% requires another 7.4 years. So we are still working on Artois, and then we'll need to make one of my other vassals, or one of my other minions into a vassal. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever allow Ming to be player controlled. That's just asking for trouble. Unless it was me and you were all my tributaries. Profiteering in Troyes. The citizens of Troyes have grown tired of local influence of greedy barries. Merchants that are claiming to use unfair advantage now compete local business. Champagne is doing what? Wine. Wine, tax, 0.1. Trade. They actually do a lot of trade. So trade power can go up. Oh, yeah, we piss off Bar. Who cares? Annoy him, it's fine. Nope, their allies will still join them in the war. Noble family requests aid. Most powerful of the noble families of the state often had vast wealth but did not stop them, like their monarchs, from getting into financial troubles. They too could accumulate debts that escaped their ability to pay. They could, at these times, come to the monarch to request aid. Monarchs were often receptive, since they would usually be related by blood or marriage. I would say yes, if this meant getting rid of one of your privileges. Except this is going to get your loyalty down to 42. I could get you up to 52 in exchange for a loan. Loans are cheaper now. Screw it, let's do it. Grant aid. Still 0.95, damn it. Zloba, thank you very much for the follow. Erebus and Terra also. Solvent. Hello and welcome to the channel, all of you. Could have drawn money out of construction fund. Damn it, I always forget about that. But also, if I keep on drawing stuff out of the construction fund, nothing will ever get constructed. So I am going to leave it, because that just takes temptation away from me. How am I doing with this, by the way? I should probably invest another smidgen. That'll do. Craftsmen abandon their workshops. Nope, keep bribing them. On average, 60% of the provinces of unaccepted cultures will gain 20 unrest. Provinces of your same culture are less likely to have unrest. Culturally strained situations can be inflamed by a wide range of mistakes. Perhaps an official document was not translated into some obscure language, the ruler made an appropriate joke that was overheard by the wrong people, or some idiot has been agitating. Whatever the reasons, waves of cultural problems are expected in nations that have unaccepted cultures. This sounds like a universal thing. Because I'm pretty sure that we are... Oh, no, we're not. Interesting. We really need to get these guys accepted. That's a lot of unrest. Ever since the Battle of Basel in 1382, which is in fact this year, Swiss mercenaries made up the very core of the French infantry troops. These soldiers, their bravery and military tactics were some of the finest fighters in all of Europe. And I am now at maximum, pretty much, manpower. No idea. Military. Nope, I need the technology. We're behind. Alright, you know what? Sod it. I'm taking it out of the construction fund. That lasted a long time. That's here. Where is it? Automated construction. Withdraw all. Oh, can't repay yet. Oh man, that's expensive. Yeah, I totally should have done that in the first place. Bugger. Loss of the Austrian Habsburg family. Give land back to the Habsburgs. The Habsburgs are like, no, we're not giving up power. You mad? I wonder if England is the same thing as me. Can't go to war because of the 100 Years' War.